Jack Ma, the Chinese business magnate, has repeatedly said that when you reach 60, you should start helping the youngsters. I am now 72, so I should be helping the youngsters. Most of you who listen are all younger to me all the time, and hence I stand before you. Jack Ma has also revealed that he has failed many a time in his attempts to succeed. Most of the great people have failed a number of times. Walt Disney was refused by financial institutions 305 times. Nobody came forward to finance his dream project, Disney World. You know, the KFC recipe by Colonel Sanders was rejected by 304 restaurants before somebody accepted it, and now it is the second largest food chain in the world. Even the most famous Harry Potter story was rejected by 13 publishers. Edison failed 1000 times in his experiment with electric bulb. And the next experiment was successful. But you know, all these great people had one thing which we do not have. They all continued in one thing, in their line, until they succeeded. But most of us, we change our professions. Jack Ma has instructed youngsters to continue with their line, irrespective of the setbacks, the failures, which are bound to come. And Barney has said, there will be failures on your way. Be prepared, but keep on going. Trundle on the rough road. When you are persistent enough, nature and the universe will bring you success in a platter. Now take it. But if you keep changing, nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to succeed. It's like, you know, an eagle which flies, it keeps going. Every swoop it makes, it does not get a prey, but it keeps going and it succeeds. It's well fed. Your attempts to succeed in life is like that. Keep in one line, whatever it is, and then you can succeed. But if you don't, if you quit one thing, normally what people do, we take up one particular line, after some time we feel, well, this is to be given up, and you give up and you take a second line. After some time again you feel, no, this is not suitable for me, you try a third one, and this continues. And you know, by the time you are old, you feel, oh, my time has elapsed. There is no question of you changing your line or a profession which you have chosen. If you like something, continue until you succeed. I have also failed a number of times in my life. You know, let's say my articles to publishers, both English and Malayalam, was rejected much more than 500 times. But then, you know, later, they themselves came forward for my manuscripts. 40 books have been published. And of course, I made a little money, but the readers have not made any one of them a super seller. Maybe because they understood I was not committed to that line of writing alone. I tried so many other things. I was a good public speaker. I tried that, and then I changed to some other line. I kept on changing. So you see, I have not reached to the level I could have had if I chose one single line. I was sent to the seminary where I studied religions, philosophy. Later on, I quit seminary. I went to the engineering college to get a job. I took up civil engineering. And later I became a lecturer in TKM College of Engineering. I remained there for some time. And then I quit, thinking for better prospects. But you know, when UGC implemented their scale of pay, my colleagues there got 1 to 2 lakhs a month. And now my colleagues who retired are getting 1.5 lakhs as pension. I never get that money. You see, when you are remaining, staying persistently in one thing, you succeed. If you don't, success misses you. Our parents are almost, like that when they deal with their children. They want their children to be good in everything, in swimming, in dancing, in speaking, in sports, in games. So they send them for everything and they become a jack of all trades. But if a child who is interested in, let's say, football, is encouraged to play that game alone, so that he focuses his entire energy on that, apart from his studies, in about 10 years' time, he will be a good footballer. He may go into the university team, later on he may go into the state or the national team, and he becomes a success. But if he dabbles in everything, he does not become proficient. You see, it is like a rolling stone never gathers any moss. This is also applicable in the case of the subject we take. We do not take one subject and stick to that. Parents do not allow that. Parents have their own choices which they impose on the child without knowing what the child likes. But if the child is encouraged to take up the subject he likes and then continue with that, he becomes an expert in that line. This is not happening in our country most of the time. That is why there are more failures. When we try something or when we get a job, we think of quitting it and trying another one. And this quitting process goes on until we gather no more and we reach nowhere. Well, as I told you, there have been some successes in my life too. When I was 72, I was working as a CEO of a company. And one of my educated friends told me, "Why, you fool, you are still working, you have made enough money, you should be now enjoying your life. Eating, drinking, idling your time is a passport to death. We need to be engaged all the time, fruitfully engaged, irrespective of your age. Maybe you're 80 or 90 or 100. Get yourself fruitfully engaged in the line which you like, so that it will be good for others and good for yourself." Nowadays, these TV stations, which used to broadcast my programs, my interviews earlier, when my books were so popular at one time, now refuse to take my talks or to give interviews to me. Maybe, my face is not all that marketable, or I am a dark bundle of a stout fellow. So maybe they look for more marketable faces. I don't bother. I have a small mobile wherein I shoot and I record it and I post it to people so that they can see and maybe they will be motivated. If one of you gets motivated by my talk, I am happy. Thank you. Thank you very much.